Hey YouTube, if you would like to see how I got this amazing makeup look, please stay tuned. So of course the first step in doing my makeup is of course my brows, and I use my Absolute New York brow pencil in the shade Smoke to outline and fill in my brows. So now all I am going to do is take my Morphe brush, I think it's Morphe brush M124, and I use my foundation shade to go ahead and conceal the top and bottom of my brows. I don't like to use that lighter shade all the way under my brows just because I don't like that halo effect that it sometimes gives off. Now that I've concealed my brows on the top and bottom, I use my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer on my face, and this just fills in any pores and readies your face for the foundation process. Okay, so now I'm just going to use that same M124 brush and go ahead and blend out that foundation on the top and bottom of my brow just to make it look nice and seamless. So now what I'm going to do is use a lighter shade than my foundation to conceal a little bit under my brow, just to, you know, brighten it up and make that arch part of the brow the main focal point. Now that I'm done with those brows, I'm going to go ahead and move on to these eyelids. So So what I'm putting on my eyelids right now is the HEYYY eyeshadow base. It's the lightest color. I'm not sure what it's called, but it does work really well, and it helps to bring out the pigmentation of the eyeshadow. And then I'm also going to use some tape and put it on the outer edges of my eyes, just so that my eyeshadow is not all over the place. And after I apply the tape, I'm going to go ahead and smooth out that eyeshadow base. Now I'm going to take a berry shaded eyeshadow from the Juvia's Place palette that I have, and I'm going to use that pretty much on the outer corner of my eye and kind of spread it a little bit inward. And I am using a Morph brush for this application process. Now I'm going in with a darker shade of brown on the outer corner of my eye to blend out that berry color that I put on there. The next color I use is called Pecan, and it's just like a really light brown. And I'm using that in the middle of my eyelid, and I'm just blending those colors out together so that it's not chalky and, you know, looking crazy. The last color I use is a creamish beige color, and I'm just using that on the inner corner of my eye. And then after I apply that on both sides, I do go ahead and blend that eyeshadow out, making sure that that blend of colors is flawless. Now I am putting on my foundation, and this foundation is from Maybelline Super Stay, and the color is Mocha. And I just put that all over my face and blend it in with the flat kabuki brush. Now I'm using my e.l.f. concealer in the shade Cinnamon to highlight my face, and I just use that under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, right above my mouth, on my chin, and in between my eyebrows as well. So now I'm using a beauty blender to go ahead and blend out all of those spots with the concealer. And the key to putting on concealer as well is to just let that concealer sit on your face for about 2 to 3 minutes, just so that you are getting maximum coverage. Now that I'm done blending out that concealer, I go right behind it with my HEYYY setting powder in the shade Tiger's Eye. And I put that on all the places that I put that e.l.f. concealer. And this is just, you know, your baking process. Now what you need to do is get you a round top kabuki brush, and you want to spray it with your setting spray. And all of those places that you put that setting powder, you're going to go behind it and just put that brush on top of it, just so that that setting powder is settled in really, really good and it's not looking cakey. Now it's time to contour, of course. I'm using my Black Radiance foundation stick in the shade Cocoa, and I'm putting that right underneath my cheekbones and on the sides of my nose, and also a little bit on the bridge of my nose. And then we're just going to blend that in with a regular blending brush. I decided to do a wing liner, so I'm using my Il Makiage marker, and I'm going to create that wing with that, and then I'll go back in and fill it in with that same marker as well. After I've created the wing, I do go back in with that same e.l.f. concealer that I used to highlight my face, and I just clean up those wings a little bit more just so that they're nice and straight and crisp. Okay, so now it's time for my blush, and I use my blush from Black Radiance, and it's in the color Almond. I don't know why it's called almond, because it definitely is not an almond color. But yeah, this is the blush that I use. Now that I'm done with my blush, I go right behind that blush with some of my highlighter. And this highlighter is from Ruby Kisses. It's called All Over Glow, and it's in the darkest shade that they have. And I just continue to apply this on my cheekbone, also on the bridge of my nose, and on the tip of my nose. So now I'm getting into my bottom liner, and I actually use a gel eyeliner from Black Radiance, and it's in the color Very Black, and I just use that to line my lower lids. it's time for some lash glue, and the way I apply my lashes is I put the glue right on my lash line and I allow that to dry, and then I put the lashes on top of it. Okay, so while that lash glue is drying and getting tacky, I am using my mascara from Wet n Wild. It has really fine combs. It's actually my favorite mascara. And I use that on my top lashes and also on my bottom lashes. So now that glue is nice and tacky, I apply the lash to the glue, and you can already see how quick that lash is sticking to the glue. So to finish up this eye look, I take a small brush by BH Cosmetics and I apply a little bit of soft gold eyeshadow in the corner of my eyes. Onto these lips, I line my lips with a Wet n Wild pencil in the color Sienna Brown. This is my favorite lip liner. It gets the job done. Now I'm going to add my NYX Butter Gloss in the color Praline to my top and bottom lip, and I'm just going to rub them together. And then after I am satisfied with how that looks, I do go in with another matte shade by Wet n Wild, and I apply that on top of it just to give my lips some type of dimension. So this is it, and I really think it came together really good. Let me know what y'all think and what y'all would like to see next. See y'all later, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.